Hey everyone, it's Mindy Hahne, the Midwest premier sports handicapper, coming to you from TonySpix.com and the half of the morning show duo, The Morning Steam with Ramon Scott. But hope you enjoy this free pick video from our show. Be sure to click in the link in the description for our best bets. Now here is the pick.
The Connecticut Sun is going to take on the Minnesota Lynx in this one, and the Sun on the road here are favored by, I'm going to see if it's changed, but 5 and 159 in this one, Mindy. Let's see if that's right. Right now it's 4.5 and 158.
159. That keeps moving up. I like the over here today, Ramon. It is 5-1 in the Suns' last 6 here overall. And again, it just feels like as of late, these two teams have just been lighting it up here, basically. I mean, we're looking at, expected points here for Connecticut reaching the 90s. So I like this one here to go over today.
Wow, that would be a big. I mean, you figure if you've got the Sun reaching, let's just call it 90 at a minimum, and I didn't get any inclination, and I'm sure you're saving it, so you don't have to give it out. But I'll just look at it from the
Huh? I said Ramon is like, I can infer what she's trying to say.
Well, no, I'm not going to look at it. I'll look at it with the spread. Okay, so
yeah, right, exactly.
So 90 to 85. Sun's favored by 5, and so 90 to 85. That'd be way over.
Way over.
She's got to be extremely confident on her play on the side, I would think, here in this one.
I feel pretty good. Yeah, right.
Yep. For me, I think the Sun's looking very, very good. Maybe Minnesota's been pretty decent, getting some numbers. I don't know. What Mindy, I'm not sure I can get a read on what Mindy's doing. I do know this: the Minnesota Lynx do not defend very well at the guard position. I've got them ranked last in the league, so I think Tiffany Hayes can have a strong performance. Even Eidemann. These are the two. If anything, the Connecticut's kind of their. I don't want to say their weakest link. They're a pretty good team right now at 10-3 right now. Minnesota just 4-8 or something like that. So I'm going to take Connecticut and lay these points in this one. I'm going to take the Sun, lay 4.5, a little bit of a discount price here. So now if I take my pick with Mindy and Connecticut gets 90 here and it still goes over, so maybe 90 to 80 or something like that, I'll just call it. I've got Connecticut. And Mindy is on the over. Let's see what the chat has to say, because we've got Alan here today. So
giving us the numbers, the data.
Okay, let's see what he says. Maybe we should have saw what he had to say first. Here's Ash on the sky. Or is it Sun? I don't know. Tommy Guyton says the Sun covers and it may go over. What does Alan say? I want to read it. So like the Sun to cover. And I halfway love all of Alyssa Thomas's problems. I don't know. Yeah, Minnesota does defend pretty okay against forwards. Jones out of this game, certainly. Thank you for that information, Alan. Great information for our chat here. Zordon will lay it with the Sun. Solo with the Sun. Tommy says take the over. Ash says Sun. Reno Sun. We'll be on the Sun. I'm on the Sun. Mindy is on the over in this one. Here comes the Sun.
Here comes the Sun.
The Washington Mystics are going to take on the Chicago Sky. Chicago's been a nice cover in some of these games, and Washington here favored by 3.5. We'll get the lowdown certainly from Alan as well. But Mindy, I'm showing this one is down to 3, and the total here is 154.5. Really, if you're going to think of Mystic games, Mystics, I don't know, do they have the best defensive team in the league? These two just kind of, it's a low total, but these two teams have been going under.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to look under. It looks like it was like 155.5 when I looked at it earlier. Now it's already down to 154, I think that you said. It's one of those, the under is 35-17 and the Mystics last 53. That's kind of what you were talking about
Ooh.
there. Also, the under is 13-6 in the Skies last 19 here overall. Also, it's basically like 1-5 to the under in the last 6 in Chicago. I feel like I got to take the under here today, Ramon.
Yeah, I'll be with you here in this one, even at 154.5. Let's see here what we've got. Fernando will take the. Oh, he was talking about the last game. Thank you, Fernando. Yeah, I don't know why I started with that one here. Alan has the numbers here. He says the Sky will cover here. Yeah, I'm leaning that way. Look at this, Mystics 1-4 in their 5 road games against the spread. The Sky 7-3 against the spread. Well, I like that. Do like that. I'm leaning Sky, but I'll take the under here. Tommy Guyton says Sky +3. Reno calls it a tarp. Mm-hmm. Alan says these games are totally going under for the Mystics here. All right. Oh, a few more comments here. Sky in the under for Thomas. Sky money line says they're due for a win. Solo says Mystics take the under and just take the under. Tommy says Cappy gives them the pick to go under in this one. Sky money line first quarter. Uh-oh. Sky in the money line first quarter. Corday, hello, Corday says go under with us. We got the under as our official play here on the show.
All right.
One more here in the W tonight. Interestingly, Mindy, the Storm, right? They're pretty dreadful, but they are pretty good against the spread. The Fever are good against the spread too. The thing about the Storm and this good spread run is we've seen it time and time again. Well, I don't know, it's early in the season. There's only been 11 games, so we've seen it several times. The Storm storms back, right? They storm back to get the money. They're losing. They're getting crushed. And they come back in the end of the game. The other team just kind of gives up a little bit. They've got the win, and the Storm come back to get the cover, getting a big number. But here, they're only getting 1.5 now, 2 points from the Fever. So that makes it a little bit tougher because they're not getting 5, 6, 7, 8 points.
Right. The Storm were 5-1 against the spread at home, like you said. But if I take that into consideration, I just feel like the Storm is not very good here offensively or defensively. Maybe a little bit of offensive life. They've gotten into the 90s. They hit 100 over like the last week or so, but that's just not something for me that I think that I'm going to see here versus the Fever today. Fever 3-0-2, like you talked about in their last 5 road games there as well. And this is the team I feel like that is going to be in the conversation for the playoffs here eventually. They've been able to finish games here as of late too, beating teams like the Sparks and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go on the Fever. I'll just take them on the money line here. Just have them win the game.
All right, Mindy on the Fever. A little bit of question here on Boston. So that is my worrisome point at this point with Aaliyah Boston game time decision. It looks like here in this one. So I think that's kind of the question mark for me. So let me take a look though and see what the chat. Maybe Van Allen has some information. Maybe I'll have some information on that here. The thing about the Fever have been, we've already talked. Remember, they had the 20-game losing streak and broke it. And now all of a sudden they got 4 wins. So dramatic improvement for the Fever this season. Ash says, take the Fever. Reno's on the Fever. Tommy on the Fever. Corday on the Fever. Certainly figured, Leah Boston, one of the best players right now. One of the best players going. Great player. So
averages what, 16 points a game? It's a big number.
My prediction was that she would not reach her potential early. I'm wrong. She looks very strong out there. So, they trust in her too. She gets a lot of action. So Reno said, okay, thank you, Reno. And Solo says, Storm on the money line here tonight. Jeremy says, take Indiana. I think that might be a money line. Nonetheless, it's just a 2-point spread. And Corday, so game time decision here, I believe, is what it is for Leah. So, yeah, you probably have to wait it out at this point. I think the fact that it's ticked up to 2, I think she will play. I think she's going to be in there for sure. Now they do have a couple of other injuries there on some players. Vivian's will be doubtful, and Berger doubtful. They're kind of reserve players. So I'm going to go under in this one. Thomas says if Bieber does play a little bit of deep, yeah. Smith is a good defensive player. The rest of them I'm not so hot on, actually, especially the guards. So maybe Thomas. Maybe it was just a pick 'em, though, actually. I don't know. And Alan, what does he say? Okay, I want to see this here. Hard read. He leans Storm at home.
So thanks for watching, and make sure you get over to the Tony'sPicks.com website right now and check out our All Cappers tab where you can purchase some of our own personal picks. And be sure to go ahead and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. Okay, have fun. Watch another video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.